Hey, so we didn't even get much of Casa Amor in this episode, guys. We didn't even get much of Casa Amor, unfortunately. Hey guys, it's Rob Morali. Hopefully you guys are all doing well today. Back at it again. It is daily and consistent content, guys. Inject it into my veins. And let's get straight into this video, guys. Consistent and persistent. So, it seems that Shaq and Tanya dominated this episode in terms of their argument unraveling, and they were still unpacking most of it. And, that was just that was mostly aired of this entire episode. And, they were able to come to conclusion and sort out their issues, because I feel like they really don't have any other choice right now, because this was pre-Casa Amor, and I'm glad that they had come to some kind of conclusion. But of course, the ex comments are still lingering over Shaq's head, because he feels like, well, are you am I moving like your ex? I don't want to be your ex, Shaq. I want to be your new man. So for you to be seeing me like that, those comments have stuck with him. I feel like he does wear his emotions on his sleeve sometimes, and he can find it hard to let go of things. And I feel like Tanya is aware of that, and cracks were definitely beginning to surface when Casa Amor was announced. Tanya, of course, was excited. Sammy was excited, and she was like, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready to find somebody else. Fresh meat, new people. And I think that's exactly what these girls definitely want. And I feel like the boys coming in the boys are a good lineup. We saw 5-10 minutes of them coming in through the door. And of course, the girls were very much excited. Jessie was like, when somebody's right in front of me, I forget them. I feel like she's just saying that for the sake of it. I don't see Jessie genuinely leaving. I don't see her leaving Will. I don't see that relationship breaking down. I see them guys winning the show if they keep going the way they do, and if they both prove their loyalty towards each other. I feel like they will. Tom, I don't think he's going to turn either. He might flirt around with people, but I don't know if he's going to turn. Love and Aftersun also came on tonight. There's really not much else for me to discuss when it comes to the episode. And Jordan said that he was interested in Zara. So that relationship, I feel like we were robbed of, because they could have really gotten further, because both of them were likable. So that's unfortunate. Tanya sitting on that couch. Guys, she should not be sitting on that couch. She should be in the villa. She's absolutely gorgeous. And it's just shocking to see that nobody really picked her in the villa, wanted to flirt with her. Like, it just makes no sense to me. I felt like she was one of those few contestants, and there are a few of them where they would absolutely shine if they were on a different season. If they were on a different season, they would shine. It becomes placement, and that's an issue. And I feel like had she been on the summer season, it would have been a different story than her being on the winter. So that is just unfortunate when it comes to some of these islanders. They picked the wrong season to come on, and it clearly can be seen. We have in the Casa Amor teaser shown on the Aftersun that Martin is kind of moving to Tanya. I'm here for Martin. I feel like he brings different energy to the villa, and I feel like he's very confident in what he wants, and hopefully he comes back into the main villa. I feel like he's got a lot of personality about him, and that's what you need. You can bring them from Casa Amor, and that's exactly what we need. So I definitely feel like him and Tanya, we'll see if she's really invested in that, because she's definitely invested in getting out of the main villa out. I feel like she just wants to be over and done with it, wants to move on with somebody else. And this is where it gets sticky, because they did profess their love for each other 2 weeks into the competition. So, cracks have gone surface, and then the public are seeing that, and we're like, well, you guys say you love each other, but you might be distancing with Casa. Are we going to be invested in you to vote for you to get to the finale to even win the competition? That is how the public may perceive this when it comes to these two as a couple. But do I think they'll get back together again? Honestly, I don't know, guys. We'll see what time tells. Olivia and Kai, I feel like Olivia might find somebody. Martin and Ryan, I feel like him and Martin are probably the strongest guys from Casa, and I feel like they'll be brought back. And I feel like the other guys from Casa just give me KC Ron 2.0. Do I think Ron and Lana, I think they're going to be the producers are really pushing for these two to be the main couple as well. So I feel like one of them will turn. I feel like Lana will be the one to remain loyal. I feel like Ron will definitely get his head twisted by somebody, bring that girl back in, and then he will come back to Lana again, and Lana will accept it. I just feel like something like that is going to happen. It gives across predictability. Now, moving on swiftly to two of the girls of Casa Amor, Lynda and Cynthia. Two of the girls, unfortunately, are getting mocked online for their appearances by, reviewers of the show or TikTokers of the show who are discussing the Casa Amor lineup and, talking about how one has broad shoulders. Lynda has broad shoulders and doesn't look that great. Cynthia looks like she could be somebody's dad. And I feel like these comments that, are made about these people, number one, they're real people. They're going to come out, these girls, and see it and be hurt by it. But also, I feel like there's just pure exaggeration. People just exaggerate to cuss people out for views, because it's like, it's just not right to be rude like that towards people's appearances, and calling somebody somebody's dad makes no sense to me. So I don't know why. And Cynthia and Lynda seem to be the only two girls who are getting the most of the brunt from the Casa Amor girl lineup, and that just is a shame, because I just feel like it's just unnecessary and not really needed for them to be cussed out like that. And we have the girls walking in when it comes to the teaser. So it's a bit of a shame that we only got 5 minutes of Casa Amor, and the majority of the conversation was still about unwashed dishes and how that carried on. I feel like, you know, we got the bulk of Shaq and Tanya the day before, but I feel like that is just being kind of dragged out because there's just not much content. And I think content is the issue when it comes to the current cast that we have prior to Casa Amor, where the producers are realizing that, you know, they're not bringing enough content. I feel like Casa Amor was brought early this year. I don't know if you guys had that hunch, but I felt like it was coming earlier than it needed to be, and I didn't understand why, but now I know. I feel like content is the issue, and I feel like the cast are fine with each other. There's not much going on. It's giving Love Island season 7 when everybody just really is chill, or if there's any tension between people, it's not really being confronted as the producers normally would make them to or sway them to. The producers have a lot of power, guys. They sway people into the right conversations, and I just feel like there's really not much going on, hence why they've kind of dragged out some storylines here and there and decided to give us only a little bit of Casa Amor, and that will be the rest of the week. Perhaps this week of Love Island could be better purely because there's, you know, 10 more people in the show, and there's sure to be more vibrant personalities, and I feel like that might just uptick the ratings. I really hope so, because if Casa doesn't uptick it, I'm keen to see if Casa gives us more than what it's peaked at, and it's peaked at is when Zara left. So I'm keen to see what it will do then. Will it peak again, or will it go over? I don't know, but you know, we definitely are going to be seeing some vibrant personalities. But I feel like Martin, I feel like his name is Ryan. I feel like those two should definitely come back from the guys. I feel like the guy lineup isn't that bad, and I feel like all of the guys and boys look way better than the Love Island pictures when you see them coming in and etc. And we'll see what happens with the girls. What girl is going to be picking? Is Shaq going to pick Cynthia or Lynda or Sanam or something like that? Do you know what I mean? Who is she going to go for? A lot of the boys' eyes are on Sammy. So that is interesting to me. Is Sammy going to just ignore it because, you know, she clearly likes Tom? So that is what, if you read the blurbs, they're all, majority of them are into her. So she clearly has many options to choose from. And I do think that she should pick one of them, because I don't think Tom is going to be loyal to her, even in the villa, but mainly outside the villa. I just don't see him and Sammy working. I feel like people see them as an underdog, or because they get on with each other and they're relaxed and cool. But realistically speaking, I feel like Tom could sway, considering the fact that he had many options and he was jumping around girl to girl and couldn't decide. And I just see him as somebody who won't be as loyal to Sammy. I don't know, to be honest with you. There are always underdogs. Nobody expected Paige and Finn to win the Love Island or even get that further. You know, when Finn came in as a bombshell, nobody expected him to win and be like, nobody really expected that. So you never know. I feel like there are a few underdogs here and there when it comes to this, but you know, I don't know who you think will win. Maybe it's too early to call, but Casa Amor, you know, we're fully now in effect of this part of the season, and we'll just see what they do, who they're going to bring back, and what's going to happen with these girls and boys. Because I feel like with Shaq and Tanya, both of them could turn, based on how, you know, although they solve the issues, there's still tension there. But I'm not really bothered now by who could turn. That to me doesn't faze me anymore. We are in the 9th series now of the season. It's not about who turns. It's because there's many people in prior seasons who turned, done dramatics, but then they go back to the old couple and even win the show. So turning doesn't bother me anymore. I'm not really excited by the split or whatever when they all return, because that isn't a defining moment to me anymore, because it's proven that people can go back to their OG couples. The Casa Amor people immediately then all just become like a waste of space in the main villa, or end up getting dumped, or etc., and then those couples can end up going further on in the competition or even win. So to me, I don't know if you guys agree, but the turning isn't something that's big for me anymore. Like back in season 3, 4, 5, you're like, whoa, okay, cool, this is major. But now it's like, well, it's been proven that you guys can just go back and you can really use the Casa Amor people as placement holders and safety nets for a temporary amount of time to see what you want to go for. So we'll just see when it comes to what Casa really does, and I feel like we're going to get the majority of it in the next 4 days, which means then for next Friday and mainly next Sunday is going to be the main return, and then it's like a week and a half or whatever till I think the finale is March 14th, so it's still like a month left of the show. Anyways, let me know your thoughts are when it comes to this. The Aftersun, I feel like, was more exciting than the main show. I feel like Aftersun is what I look forward to more. The lineup is better, the conversation is better, the outfits are better, the energy is better, the contestants being interviewed, the questions are better, the flow is better. I just feel like it's just better than the show, especially when it comes on a Sunday. So that's why this review is a little late, because I wanted to actually watch Aftersun, which is something that I really have never wanted to do. So I don't know what the ratings are for Aftersun. understand. I don't think they've been released yet, but that's definitely a part of the conversation now that I begin to have with these reviews, as we are now going on to the 10th series, basically in the summer. But, you know, I'm keen to also see when Big Brother launches right after Love Island, how Big Brother does in the ratings. And if that does better than Love Island, then there could be some conversation. But I feel like the producers really should make this the last season of Love Island Winter ever. No shade, no tea to the contestants, but I feel like there's no need for it to be twice. You've got Big Brother now coming on as well, and then eventually Celebrity Big Brother. So there's no need for them to have two separate like seasons. Like it just doesn't make any sense. It should just be once a year. Let me know your thoughts are, guys, and I'll catch you guys soon for another review.